So let's do 3 movements that are key to the diaphragm really being able to move well. We're going to start off with what is probably the most complicated one, which is side bending. So coming into the C curve with the spine is a movement that we don't do frequently, and it's actually very complicated for the spine to do it, and in that lies a lot of magic in terms of freeing up motion. If this feels a bit peculiar to you, don't worry. As you do it more, it starts to become more natural. The movement itself is like the chest and the collarbones move one direction while the head and the pelvis move the other direction. And then we reverse. So shoulder blade, girdle, chest going one way, the head, the pelvis go the other way. We can rock back and forth, and we can do a second phase to this that starts to get interesting. We're going to use the breath with it. So let's come to the center. We'll take an easy breath in, and then we're going to breathe out. And then as we take the next breath in, we're going to bring the shoulders off to the side. If I'm mirroring your image, you're going off to the left side with your shoulder girdle. We're going to hold that breath in as though we're taking a breath into the side body and just holding there. We're creating a fascial stretch from the inside out while we've also got a stretch coming from the outside in. Take a breath out, come back to the center. You were thinking I'd never say that. And now take a breath in and hold to the other side. So we've got this breath hold that is a soft hold. We're not bearing down hard to hold the breath. We're simply stopping, breathing, and we're feeling the stretch that comes with that. Take a breath out, come to the center. Let's take a breath in as we go to the other side. Feeling that stretch happening from the inside out and the outside in. Breath out, come back to the center, and let's go again to the other side. Breath in. Again, it's a soft hold. The breath out as we come back to the center. Now we could repeat that a few more times, or we can get on with it, but let's do a little wiggling before we do that. So this wiggle, that's side to side. Just a way to kind of reinforce to the nervous system that, yeah, this motion's cool. It's all right. We can do this. Next, let's do one that you'll be a little more comfortable with, a little more familiar to us, which is bending forward and bending backwards. Let's take bending forward first. We're going to curl forward, kind of letting our pelvis drop back and just bringing the sternum down towards the pelvis. So it's not just a bending forward this way, it's a curling the spine forward. We do this to get the pressure from the internal organs to push the diaphragm back up into its dome-shaped position where it wants to live, where it wants to start from. So this is the breath out, where we just collapse through the abdomen, through the chest cage. That's our breath out. And then the breath in gets a little more nuanced, a little more complicated, and in that a little more wise and a little cooler. So here's the first magic part of it, or the first really important part is we're going to take a breath into the back body. What that's going to do is protect you. So bending backwards by itself can be a bit threatening. If instead we take a breath into the back body first and bend backwards from there, it helps us be a little wiser with the extension. And then the last thing you'll do to make yourself wisest is the chin stays tucked a bit. So the chin stays down towards the center of the neck. That's going to help protect your neck and allow you to come into the extension that you can in a very wise and controlled way. And you guessed it, we do that with a breath in. So let's go back to the breath out. Breath out and we curve forward. How do you like that? I've taken this simple motion and made it incredibly complicated. Then we take a breath in, we pick the sternum up, the back is inflated. The chin tucks just a bit. And we now feel this nice, easy to tolerate stretch in the chest and maybe the front of the neck. And with the breath out, we curl forward, reverse that. Incidentally, in the Qigong world, this is called spinal cord breathing. Frequently do it in standing with arms. We're just taking the core part of it and getting that. So that's our breath in, and then a breath out. We curl forward. And a breath in. The back inflates. The sternum comes towards the sky. The chin stays tucked. We're open and wise. And back to the center. All right, I promised you 3. The third one is rotation. We're going to use the breath again, but right now let's just learn the motion. You can take a hand to one leg, take it to the outside of the other leg to give yourself a little bit of leverage, and we're going to twist. Now, we can twist in a chin forward kind of slumped posture, and we can go pretty far that way. Or we can tighten the show up in a really smart way, bring the chin in, be nice and upright, and we'll turn just a little less, but the quality will be much better. Guess which one we want? We want quality. So chin stays tucked, we're nice and tall, neutral through the spine, we turn to look. Let's coordinate the breath with it. This time we're going to use a breath out as we go into the motion. So we're going to use the motion to help wring the breath out. And we take a breath in to come to the center, and a breath out to turn and twist. A breath in to come to the center, a breath out to turn and twist. A breath into the center, a breath out to turn and twist. So we frequently use these three motions to get ready for a breath practice. But they can be the breath practice all by itself. So it might be that you just take a few minutes to coordinate your breath with opening the side body with a breath in, opening the other side with a breath in, a little spinal cord breathing to get good excursion of the diaphragm and to loosen the spine up. Turn the nervous system on in a smart way, and then a little twisting, wringing out the breath, a little twisting, wringing out the breath, and that may be your breath practice. It took you 2 or 3 minutes to roll through that. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.